Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year. Can't believe it's 2021 now and we are in another lockdown. Wonderful. So I thought I would kick off the year by giving you a little idea of what speeches that I did for my drama school auditions. As you can see from the title, these are my classical pieces that I've done. They all happen to be from Shakespeare, just because I didn't really know much about other classical pieces back when I was like 17, 18, 19. So I chose ones that I was able to access easily, and I'm going to tell you the few that I did, but also some that I really liked but didn't actually do, just to give you guys like an idea. But also, these monologues may not suit you. I know definitely some of them didn't actually suit me, and probably why sometimes they didn't go as well as I thought, but in the end I did them, and I think I learned a lot from doing ones which were completely wrong for me and some which were actually really good choices. So you can learn a lot from just trying things out and seeing what fits and what doesn't. And even if they don't work out, then you know what you want in a monologue, I guess. And so these ones here will be classical, and I will upload my contemporary pieces soon, so stay tuned and make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. So yeah, let's get started. Normally when they ask you to do a classical piece, it should be about 2 minutes. They say it really depends on what school you're auditioning for though and what they're looking for. And so most of mine were between a minute and a half and 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And the first one that I chose was Celia from As You Like It. And this is Rosalind's cousin, but they're practically sisters because they've grown up in court together. And I chose this piece because everybody seemed to love doing Rosalind, and Rosalind's speeches were on the centrals list, and so was Phoebe's. And I thought, what about Celia? And I think at the time when I was 17, 18, I kind of wanted something kind of youthful and also something that I could relate to. And so the speech that I chose was something that I kind of chopped together and changed myself to make sense, obviously. It's quite near the start of the play whilst they're in court, so they haven't run to the Forest of Arden yet. It's when Celia comes up with a plan to run to the Forest of Arden. And so in the speech there was like a nice journey for her, as she feels really empathetic and really sad for Rosalind because she doesn't want her to go, and she's trying to come up with a plan. And so there's a really nice journey throughout that monologue which I really like, and I think I might even go back and have a look at it now just thinking about it. Yeah, that was the first monologue that I learnt. And the thing is, when you do these classical speeches, it's always good to have another backup option just in case. And for the first year that I auditioned, my backup option was Viola from 12th Night. I learnt it and did all my preparation on it, but I never actually did that monologue, but I always had it in my back pocket. It was something more well known, I guess. It was on the centrals list as well, and if they wanted to see a different character, then I had it in my back pocket. And then I think it was in 2017, there were quite a few, 2017, 2018 maybe, there were a few plays on of 12th Night, and so after that I chose not to do 12th Night and that monologue for a while, because once someone sees those performances like at the Globe and at the National, they have that image in their mind, and so I kind of stayed away from that one for a bit and didn't go back to it since. Another one that I did was Rosalind from As You Like It. So this was the year or two after I did Celia, and the reason why I chose this as well was because I really love the play As You Like It. It's one of my favourite Shakespeare plays, and my friend did this monologue and I was like, actually that character is so interesting and she's talking to two people. I thought it'd be like a really nice challenge, and it turned out that I then began to carry on that monologue with me for my second and third auditions, because she's got some like real grit to the character. That's why I quite liked her, especially since I grew up a bit from when I was 17 and thought that I could find more of that grit and like power in who she is and what she's telling Phoebe and Sylvius. The next one I did was Cressida from Troilus and Cressida. This is also on the Centrals list, and this is where she's kind of confessing her feelings for Troilus, and it's a little bit awkward. And so I thought I could bring some sort of like awkwardness but also youthfulness to the character, and so that's why I chose it as well. This was also one of the ones that I just had in my back pocket because it wasn't the one that I absolutely loved, but I did do it for a couple auditions and I never felt like it sat right with me personally. I just thought that Cressida was quite a good casting for me. However, I don't think that the monologue was very good for me. The next one is Goneril from King Lear. So she is the oldest sister out of the three sisters or three daughters of King Lear, and her monologue is very feisty and irritated, and she holds a lot of power, and this was something that I'd not done before, and so I wanted to show that off and be able to hold my power, hold my presence, and just like be there and have a little contrast to what I've worked on before. And so if you're looking for a monologue that is quite powerful and angsty, then yeah, that is the monologue to do. So I'm going to move on to ones that I didn't do but I really love, and the first one is Edmund from King Lear, because I just find that character so interesting and he's really clever and really manipulative, and so the monologue that he does is really interesting to watch, and I always find it the most interesting choice for guys to do because it's on the Centrals list. But obviously anyone can do that monologue, and sometimes I wish I did do it, but at the same time it might not be like who I am or the casting and stuff, but it's a really nice one to watch and maybe try out. Another one that I really like is Iago from Othello. Like Edmund, he's really manipulative, but he's also so clever in the way he uses his words and thinks up of things on the spot, and so that's quite a good one, especially since he addresses the audience. And a lot of the time people think that Iago is such a main central character to Othello that sometimes people say the play should be called Iago compared to Othello, but that is just something that people speculate. Another one from Othello is Emilia's monologue, which is right at the end of the play, and it's quite a good one for people who are quite mature or like have a mature presence, because she is Iago's wife and Desdemona's maid and kind of like confidant, and she talks about how she thinks it's the men's fault for women's problems and men drive women to do what they do. And it's really interesting because women aren't allowed to speak out of place or out of turn, and so when she does come out with this at the end, it's really quite powerful and really makes the audience think, and so I think that's a really good one to watch and do. I never personally did that monologue because of my casting, and when I was auditioning I was quite young, so 17, 18, 19, and I kind of stayed away from things that were too old. I know that I tried Goneril's one, but after doing that for quite some time, I realised that that really wasn't the one for me. So I stayed with ones that I really enjoyed doing, and also ones that I found sat well with me and my casting type, but also ones that would constantly challenge me and I'd find really interesting ways of doing them every single time, because sometimes when you're doing drama school auditions it can get kind of like boring and tiresome, so that's when I want to like mix things up and really want to challenge myself to not get stuck in a rhythm or get stuck just like reciting it rather than feeling it and being in the moment. And so I think that's really important, to find a monologue that really suits you and really pushes you to do your best and keep finding new things with it, especially since people audition from like, I don't know, November to April, May, and so you always want to keep it fresh and have backup options as well, just in case you think one thing is too overdone, or you think that you've done it too much, that you can't find anything new. Maybe do another monologue and then come back to it, just so that you can make it fun for yourself and do your best. I hope this has been really helpful. I know that a few people have commented in my previous videos and asked me about what monologues I did. I kind of kept it like a secret for some reason. I think it's because I carried on monologues that I'd previously done over the years, and so I didn't want to share it with the world. But now that I've auditioned for drama schools and got in, I'm in my third year now, I think it's okay to share my wisdom, if I can call it that, or my experience. Yeah, I hope that this has been helpful, and I will be back with my contemporary monologue soon, so stay tuned, and good luck with all your auditions and everything. I hope that you guys have an amazing 2021, and I will see you next time. Thank you, bye!